The best ball strikers in the world do this one thing. They make ball first contact. The question is, how do we do that, especially as an experienced golfer? Well, don't worry about it because I've got you covered. I got 3 specific things that are going to help you make ball first contact. So let's get right into it. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the foot, we're going to talk about the hip, and we're going to talk about the takeaway and the golden nugget to this whole thing. As we become older, experienced golfers, of course, we don't have as much flexibility as we normally do. And we know that the best ball strikers in the world hit the ball and then the ground. So the first thing I want you to do to help this ball first contact is to take your lead foot, which for me is my left foot, and I want you to flare the toe. I want you to take the lead toe and flare it out like this. So notice the difference between this position versus this position. All right, now why is that important? Well, because in order to make ball first contact, I've got to continue to rotate and I've got to continue to move my weight into my lead foot. And if my lead foot is square or closed in this particular way, okay, that's going to restrict some movement into it and some rotation around it. So let's go ahead and hit one, and I want you to watch my lead toe. So here we go. Here's the first step. Instead of being square like that, I'm going to take it and flare it out, and that's going to allow me to get into that lead foot and to rotate. Let me go ahead and hit one. Okay, that was pretty solid. So as our hips get a little tighter, as our body doesn't move like it used to, we've got to create some freedom. So the number 3 one is to take it, point it out so you can get into it. All right, number 2 has to do with the hips and has to do specifically with the backswing, okay? When we turn, and the purpose of the backswing, of course, is to give us some length and some rhythm so we can swing the golf club and create some club head speed. So what we need in the backswing is we need movement. So I want you to feel like your hips make a nice big turn. So notice how they turn and that opens me up. Notice how my belt buckle works from you right here to right back there where my main man Nick is. Give him the thumbs up. There's Nick right there, okay? Notice how the belt buckle is now looking back at Nick. And when that belt buckle turns, when those hips turn, okay, that gives me movement. And with movement comes length to swing. And as we get older and become experienced golfers, getting length to our swing can be challenging. So let me go ahead and demonstrate. Here we go. I'm going to take that lead foot, point it out a little bit. I'm going to take my hips and turn them back towards the camera. Let me go ahead and hit one, and then we're going to talk about that number 1. Here we go. Turn the hips back towards the camera. All right, that was even a little bit better there. A little more length to the swing, a little bit more solid. All right, now I'm also going to give you a telltale sign at the top of your swing that you can look for that tells you you're doing these things correctly. So we're getting ball first contact. That's what the best players in the world do. We're pointing and flaring the lead toe so we can rotate and get into that front side. We're turning the hips on the back side, okay? But the number 1 thing, the most important thing, is in the takeaway. And I want you to focus on right here. This part of the club right here is what we call the butt end of the club. We all know this is the club head, right? Butt end, club head. Now, in the initial takeaway, okay, I want the butt end of the club to work away from the target. See that? Watch the butt end of the club. Here we go. It moves away from the target versus towards the target. All right? If we want ball first contact, that's what we want, right? This butt end of the club has got to work away from the target initially. Now, why is that important? You were thinking to yourself, because it does so many things. When the butt end moves away from the target, it gets the club face square. See that? The club face is square. It's not open, all right? It keeps the club head outside the hands, which is one of the characteristics of great ball strikers. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit a shot, and then we're going to tie this all together. Flare, so I can rotate and get into it. Turn the hips on the backswing. Get the butt end of the club working away. Here we go. Oh, Nick, did you get that? That was the best one of the day, my friend. All right, and you know this, we love hearing where you're from. Okay, put that in the comments, all right? Be sure to subscribe, do that as well too. We like that, but we love hearing where you're from. Let me share with you one more thing here. What is the checkpoint that you can use at the top of your swing to make sure you're in a good spot? When you get the club to the top, okay, I want you to look at your lower body. And what you should see in your lower body is you should see a change in knee flex. The lead knee has become more flexed, the trail leg has released. And this little daylight, this little gap right here, this is one of the telltale signs we look for in the vertical line swing. We cover all this in the vertical line swing, in the book, The Bad Lie. You've seen all that. So let me take it to the top. Watch the lower body. Boom, see that right there? That's the checkpoint that I'm looking for. So if I want ball first contact, that's what I've got. I've flared the toe. I'm in there. Okay, I'm going to turn that hip. And let me see if I can get that position. I want you to watch it, see if it's there. Oh yeah, it's getting better with each one. Now that you've achieved ball first contact, check out my 5 tips for senior golfers specifically to improve your driving.